All right, you filthy animals, welcome back. We got chest and arms today. Showed up a little late, but what's a black person? If they ain't a little tardy to the party, as long as that work still gets put in. Should be a good day. Quick day, easy day, in and out type of vibes. I got literally tricep push downs to warm up. I got 3 chest movements and 3 bicep movements and 1 more tricep movement. So I should really be done with this lift within, let's call it an hour and 20 minutes. That sounds reasonable. So let's shoot for that, an hour and 20. And then, depending on time, I'll be doing cardio here, or I'll go for a nice little walk outside. It's nice out, so. I did want to touch on something really quickly. I saw somebody else that does gym content talking about it, and I thought it was very key and important what he was saying. Stop letting people lie to you when they say they doing 5-6 sets, because that's not real math. If you're looking to grow, if you're looking to build muscle, they'll tell you they did. Some people will say, oh, I did 2-3 sets and it looks good on camera, and I'll do 1 hard set and that's it. No, bro. Oh, I did 6 sets for 12 reps, 14 reps. But the weight doesn't change, the RPE doesn't change, RIR, reps in reserve, doesn't change. It's not some type of struggle, or you're not getting muscle fatigue. You're not doing real sets. If you ever hear me say I have 4 sets of this or 5 sets of this, the first 2 sets, I don't even count. The first set is a warm-up. Like, that's just moving the muscle. Second set is what's called a feeder set. A feeder set is when you add a little bit of weight, you go for a lower rep range. That's your muscle knowing that it's doing something. You know, it's being stretched. Those last 2 sets are usually where the weight goes up, the intensity changes, and you know, I'm pushing for that 10 reps, 12 reps, but it's high intensity. So if you ever, I am pretty much, I saw another content creator who was talking about Stop letting people lie to you in the gym saying that they're doing 5 and 6 sets when they're doing 6 sets at the same weight. Intensity doesn't change, and it's like those first 2 sets shouldn't even count because it's really a warm up and it should be a feeder set. And then the last 2 sets should be, working weight. The reps are decreasing because the intensity is increasing. So I was just touching on that. Just stop letting people tell you, oh yeah, I'm in the gym doing 6 sets and 7 sets. Your body's not growing if you're doing that. If you're not struggling and your RPE or your RIR is not changing within the working movement, you're not doing enough. And that's the fastest way to get hurt because,
And bad form. Can't forget. Some people be preaching but have terrible form.
oh, bro, I would rather have, you know what? I would rather have form that can be corrected, not shitty form, but I'd rather have form that can be corrected and actually still stretching the muscle versus being 100% perfect and doing absolutely nothing. I would rather know on that 7th, 8th, and 9th rep, as much as I'm trying to keep perfect form, it's starting to break
As it should.
because you're actually pushing, you're actually pulling, you're actually using the muscle for what it's meant to be doing. You're stretching the muscle fiber. So I would rather know on that 7th, 8th rep,
You're coming close to failure.
you're coming close to failure versus still being a fucking scientific lifter and it's just.
I think it has its place.
I mean,
It all just depends on how you do it. But really,
absolutely.
it don't matter. Like you said,
But I feel like if
you're
I'm
hitting 7 sets.
if I'm doing a perfect curl for 20 reps versus
Probably fit off the way.
going up 10, 15 pounds and I'm doing 14 reps and those last 4 I'm swinging for momentum, the muscle's fatigued. Versus doing this and nothing changes. You're not doing anything.
I remember I seen somebody on Instagram. They were like, why are we still doing hammer curls in 2025, 2026?
I'm so glad you didn't send me that. Because I just did hammer curls the other day. I'm so glad you didn't send me that shit.
I tell Nick that.
I'm so glad you didn't send me that. Because that would have wholeheartedly pissed me off. Ah. Now, with that being said, I'm not a perfect lifter. Nobody should want to lift perfect. My thing is, stop listening to people who's selling false advertisement. Moral of the story is, to kind of wrap this up, if somebody's telling you they're doing 5, 6 sets in the gym, if you don't ask questions, you'll believe that they're actually doing 5, 6 sets. You should have 2 sets that don't count. Your warm-up and your feeder. After that, you should have, depending on what you're doing, 2 working sets. The first working set, your reps should be in the higher 10 to 15 with more weight on it. That second working set should be borderline pushing for failure because you not only up the weight, the intensity changed. Now, if you have one more after that, that's considered a back down set. Especially if you're hitting major body parts like the chest, you're hitting lats, you're hitting legs. You'll never see me go 5, 6, 7 sets on one movement. That'll never happen. So with that being said, start doing your own investigation and digging on the information that people is giving you within the gym. All right. First one, warm-up set. So the next thing I'm going to do is the feeder set. So I'm going to throw some more weight on here. I'm going to go for about 6 to 8 reps just to fill out the machine, fill the weight, make sure everything is in alignment, make any more adjustments that I need to. And then I'll do 2 working sets, which you'll see the intensity switch. So, all right, here we go. And that right there is my feeder. Didn't overexhaust myself. Now I'm about to put some weight on there and actually do my 2 working sets. All right, so first working set, got some weight on there for to the 12 reps. And if it feels comfortable, then I'll go up in weight. And ideally, you should shoot for 10 to 12. You might get 8 to 10. And make sure that 8 to 10 is borderline failure. So, theoretically, I could have did 2 to 3 more real good reps. We're going to keep that in the tank for this last set. All right. Last working set. And that is how your working set should look. So now, what you want to remember is you don't want to overload the muscle either. So, depending on how many movements I have, that depends on how many warm up and feeder sets I have. But now that the muscle is warm and I'm already past pre exhaustion, I don't need to do as many warm ups and feeders to get to where the money is. So now, on this plate loaded chest fly, because I know the pecs are already activated, pump is going, I don't need all that extra. I'm gonna do one good warm up set to feel where the weight is at, see if I need to make any adjustments on seating positions or anything. Then I have 2 working sets. So right after this warm up set, I'm getting straight to, the working sets. And then from here, since this is my last chest movement, we're gonna, push for failure really on those last two sets. And then I have arms. So warm-up set is just a plate on each side. Get position right. How I like to use this method is, a lot of people do it differently. Me personally, I like to keep a slight bend in my elbows and think about scooping and squeezing. So when I'm scooping, I'm also extending to get that full chest contraction. Because I could just be sitting here doing this and I'm not doing absolutely nothing but wasting energy. So on this specific machine, especially flies, I like to have my hands open because I want to think about scooping, squeezing, but I also want to touch my fingers. That's how I know I'm getting a full contraction. So scoop, and when I come here, I'm fully activated. Stretch. Even on a warm-up set, you should be able to feel that contraction. Even if you get to the pump, even when you get to the part to where you're just trying to pump through it, you should still be trying to get that full contraction. And when you're squeezing, your chest should be coming through, not out. It should be coming through. So you're here, you should be squeezing and getting full contraction here. And when you squeeze tighter, you not only get the top, but the middle closes as well. So that was my first warm-up set. I'm gonna throw one more plate on for my two working sets. And I'll just show exactly how I do it. And some people say foot placement matters. For certain movements, to me, it doesn't. So you may catch me with a one leg back as like a support. You may catch me with both my feet up front. You may catch me with both my legs back here. It's all structured to different people. I don't have a set way of when I do flies, particularly how my feet are set. But that's just me. So on this next one, you'll see how much I try to pull my chest through while squeezing. Whew. That shit hurt. But it felt good though. Now we're on the arms. With arms, if you think about it, the muscle is really already warm with the movements that you do. So you don't gotta start off crazy light. Start off with some weight. You want tension on arms because the biceps and triceps are such small muscles that sometimes we neglect them. So hammer curl, starting off with these 30s, and then we'll just see where it goes from here. Ooh. So 12 reps isn't terrible. That's like a starting point. But as I go up with weight, You want to ideally keep that same rep range and tension on them arms. Everybody do their bicep movements and tricep movements different. It's all a preference. Some people do their hammer curls here. Some people do them here. Me personally, I like doing them here. So that's why I do mine. Simple as that. But I'm not gonna lie. Pump today, feeling great. The back not as sore as it was. My back was fried. For me not to have a good lift the other day on back, my back was toast for days. All right, so now, huh?
Camera?
Yep.
Man, that's small screen.
So, yeah, but then if you look at it on my phone, it's full screen.
What's your name of the channel?
My first and last name, Kuma Prescott.
What's your last name? Yeah, sorry.
Pres-
Prescott?
yep. But,
K-U-M-A?
yep. Hey,
I'm
but,
gonna follow you, man.
thanks, brother.
Yeah.
Gotta love it, bro. I met that guy here probably a month ago, and the rest is history after that. Shit. You heard what he just said. So now we're gonna jump up to these 40s. Ooh. It's been a good lift. I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about it at all. Cleat check of the day real quick. Well, it's on my brain. I probably can't see, but I got on the tri-colored New Balance 9060s. If you have not yet put your feet in a pair, the recommendation came from here. Most comfortable shoes to walk in, stand in, run errands in, slip on and go. I love these things. So eventually, I plan on getting every color. Not every color. Some of the colorways are ugly, but like at some point I'm going to have a plethora of 9060s to choose from when I want to just put on an outfit or get up and go, whatever. And I don't feel like putting on nothing crazy, flashy, or whatever the case may be. Comfort, baby. TED Talk of the day real quick. Continue to get inspired by shit. Even if it's something small, big, your own accomplishment, a win for yourself, a win for a friend, a win for a family member. Continue to be inspired, bro. Can't say too much until it's out there. But one of the homies is getting ready to do something very different and unique. And, you know, we all have that fear factor of the what if. But man, just to see what he's getting ready to do and like the thought process behind it and the passion, man, that just makes me want to do content so much more at a different level. Come up with new ideas, new things to, you know, talk about segues and better editing. Like it just inspired, it just kind of lit a fire under me to kind of do more. And no matter how busy I am, no matter what my schedule looks like, if I can still find time to do the basics, I can find time to do a little bit more, to make the video a little bit more, make the audio a little bit more. It could be anything, you know? So just, man, continue to get inspired by life. Seeing the homies and family members do shit that's just like, oh, like, damn, that's crazy. You know, like my brother, he's been doing shit the past couple weeks that kind of had me like, damn, like, what got into you? But not in a bad way. It's just because it's just certain things that we're not used to seeing each other do. And, seeing my brother do what he's doing, that shit was just like, damn, like that inspired me to, do things a little bit different and have a different viewpoint of certain aspects in life. And then I was just having a conversation with one of the homies yesterday, and he's getting ready to do something really big that's gonna, change his trajectory, change other people's trajectory, and be able to reach somebody or teach somebody something, So just be inspired by what's around you and never think you can't continue to learn. If you ain't learning something new, what are you doing? So that's my TED Talk of the day, is just continue to be open-minded, to be inspired and learn new shit. That's it. This will be the last movement though. Me personally, I get more of a stretch when I go all the way up, squeeze, and then I get to about 3/4 the way from being all the way down. The bicep, yes, is fully stretched here, but this is the fastest way to tear a bicep when you're moving weight, because right now my bicep is engaged just by me grabbing onto the handle and pulling backwards. My bicep is engaged as we speak. If I was to come from here to up here and back down to here with no real support, I could blow my bicep out. So me personally, I like to just set up, get to a full stretch at the top, and right where you can feel that bicep contract, my biceps are fully engaged. This is my stopping point. That right there for me is a good 10 reps at a decent amount of weight. I have 2 more good sets. The goal is to still hit 10 reps with a slight more weight added. You don't have to go crazy with biceps just because, once again, it's a small muscle. And think of it as a rubber band, just like your hamstring. That pops, GG's. So, here we go. Oh, no, you're good, brother. Even if you did, you pay rent just like me, brother. You good?